Thank you.
I meant what I said, Dorfler. You give that woman a plaque, she's gonna change everything.
If she gives us a bell, Kennedy, what difference does a little plaque make? We don't even have to look at it.
Oh, the next thing you know, she's gonna change the name of this town to Olsonville.
You are a stubborn man.
Oh, that may be true, but Olson's not gonna run my religion. I'll tell you.
That won't happen here.
Well, it just might.
Well, maybe not as big as the bells in St. Paul, but at least a lot bigger than the ones in Mankato or Sleepy Eye.
That will certainly show them. Well, there seem to be a few who oppose our generosity, but, well, I'm sure that they'll come around. How do you feel, Mr. Hanson?
I approve of the bell.
Miss Beadle?
I think it's a wonderful idea. And we need the bell for the school as well as the church.
Oh, good gracious, no! Why, that would clearly be sacrilegious. Oh, why, a church bell is only for the church and nothing else. Come along, Nels.
Mrs. Olson, that's not right. We use the same building. Why can't we use the same bell?
We may have neither church nor school.
Why?
With the size bell that she wants, it would tip that building over. We would have nothing but a mess of kindling. Excuse me, Miss.
Seems like such a nice idea.
Yeah, the church could use a bell.
But Mrs. Olson wanted to do it all by herself. I think that's a little too much.
If they can afford it, I don't see what's wrong with it.
It was the way she did it. And that plaque.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I think the Reverend Alden's got a war on his hands.
I now have the feeling I should have come to you first, Charles. But I didn't. I went to the Olsons and the Nelsons. I met Mr. Tyler, Mr. Dorfler, Mr. Kennedy at the blacksmith shop. I thought I could prevail on Mrs. Olson to let others contribute towards the bell, but she refused. We accept the bell as offered, or the Olson family will attend church in Springfield.
Springfield, that's a 50-mile round trip.
I mentioned that. But she was adamant. But so were Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Tyler. Now, they want no part of Mrs. Olson's bell and plaque. They said that...
Oh, we can imagine what they said.
Well, it's just as well, because some of the words used wouldn't bear repeating with a lady present. Now, one thing I did find out, the angers are spreading. People are choosing sides. If I accept the Olsons' offer, we lose half the congregation. And if I don't, we lose the other half.
Reverend, these storms come up and then they blow over.
You have a lot of friends here.
Thank you. I've taken up enough of your time.
I'll see you.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Good night, Reverend.
Reverend, I don't know if it'll make you feel any better, but in your absence, the elders all give a sermon. They take the turns. If you're ever in church to hear one of those, you'd realize how welcome you really are.
What I haven't told you is that people on both sides of the argument have threatened to write my superior and ask to have me replaced.
Like I said, these storms blow over. Why don't you let me look into that?
I'd appreciate it. You might tell everybody concerned. I only want what's best for the church and the congregation.
I think we all know that.
Thank you again. Good night.
Good night.
Let's go, Jehoshaphat. Oh.
Kennedy, how you doing?
Hello, Ingalls. What can I do for you?
Just stopped by. Wanted you to know we're going to have a meeting at the church tonight about 7 o'clock.
Oh, what for?
Discuss the bell.
There's nothing to discuss. The matter's been settled.
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, let me put it another way. It's been settled as far as I'm concerned.
Now, come on, Kennedy. Give the rest of the congregation a chance. It's not going to hurt you to listen.
All right, I'll listen. But my mind's made up, Ingalls. And we don't want no Olson bail. And that's final.
Can we have some quiet, please? Thank you. I thought we should have this meeting to discuss the Reverend Alden's suggestion. I think we can discuss it as friends, neighbors, and members of the congregation. I suggest we think in terms of a compromise. There's no one of us that can have his or her way on everything. I personally think we need a bell. We've had an offer of such a bell from the Olsons.
And a plaque. Don't forget the plaque.
The bell and the plaque. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Now, I think we should hear from those who are willing to accept that offer and those who are opposed.
I think we ought to accept the gift in the manner in which it was intended.
Oh, now, that's just what I don't like. Don't you remember how hard we worked? We built this church in honor of the Lord. We donated the boards and the joists and the beams and the rafters to him. We didn't put our names on none of it.
Oh, now, really, that is not... No, wait, please. This is the house of God. Now, let's conduct our discussion quietly.
We take that bell. It's going to be the Olson house, bell, pew, and pulpit. And I'll tell you something else, Ingalls. She'll be doing the sermon. That's sacrilegious.
Now, wait. I suggest that we forget about the Olson's bell and that we start over and we take a collection so all of us can contribute.
Well, you are a measly man. Nels, I will not stay here and be insulted. Come along.
No, wait, please.
Oh, be quiet. I'm not going to insult any longer.
No insult intended. All I wanted was so we could all contribute to the bell.
Good riddance.
Mr. Kennedy, if you would keep a civil tongue in your head, we might just get something accomplished here.
All right, I think we should take the vote. All those in favor of a special contribution.
Mr. Ingalls, we're a poor community. If we accept the gift of the bell, that way it won't cost us anything.
If we take the bell, and then you will want a new church, that also should be for free?
Hanson, that's not true.
Well, not exactly for nothing, Hanson. You're going to be standing right there ready to sell the lumber.
Mr. Kennedy.
Listen, I contribute as much as any man in this town, and I want...
I thought we came here to discuss the bell.
Oh, why don't we forget that blame bell? We done all right without it up to now. Show of hands.
For what?
That's it, Ingalls. The meeting's adjourned.
We didn't know we are voting for... No, wait, come back. Bring him back here. Kennedy, come here. Bring him back in here.
Kennedy!
So finish this meeting. Hey, Kennedy!
You wouldn't have believed it. Start out discussing the bell. Next thing you know, it's the Battle of the Little Bighorn. I can't tell the soldiers from the Indians.
Well, didn't they listen, Pa?
I'm afraid not, Half-Pint. They're all too busy yelling, shouting.
I do declare. Bunch of grown-ups carrying on like children.
The children wouldn't have been that noisy.
Does this mean there won't be any church on Sunday? I was beginning to like Sunday school, even if they did repeat a lot of stories Mary and I already knew.
If we have to, we'll worship and have Sunday school right here. We've done it before.
John, we can't. Why not? Our fathers won't let us because of what your father said about the bell. Aren't we friends anymore? We can't play with them either.